I will talk to you today about whether only people have rights. Well, a little spoiler alert, this is a myth. I'm Sjanne Quellhorst. I'm a fraction leader. I'm a local politician in my municipality in IJsselmeer-Gratum. A little bit more about that later. So only people have rights? I don't think so. I think we should move towards rights of nature. And this is a concept that's already existing. It's not something new, but what exactly are these rights of nature? And I think for that, we need to take a step back and look at how we view the world around us. And what we notice then is that mostly the world is structured into laws and into jurisdictions, and nature comes last often in decision making. So we have rights of people, and the rights of nature are not considered in this. And when we give rights to nature and when we acknowledge rights to nature, we can argue that the nature has a voice, and they can represent their interests and voices against the economic interests that nowadays mostly are more established in laws. So one myth that you often hear with rights of nature is that this is not possible because nature, it cannot speak for itself, and nature, it's not a person. However, we have a legal personhood for companies. Companies are something with rights, even though they're not actual persons. And also what we hear is that nature cannot speak for itself. However, companies don't have actual voices, they have representatives. Children, they're not able to stand up for their own rights, so they have guardians. And when we implement this for nature and give nature a guardian or a representative, then they can speak on behalf of the interests of nature. And then what we also hear is that nature or rights of nature, that we're not ready for this yet. But there's no better time than now. And once it seemed absurd to abolish slavery, and there was a lot of people that didn't want it at that time. But now it seems absurd that we had this at one point in time. Also, the right for women to vote. It's not that long ago, at least in the Netherlands, a little bit over a century, that women are allowed to vote. Now, at that time, it seemed absurd to give women the right to vote. So I think right now we should give rights of nature, and then hopefully in time it will seem absurd that there once was a time that nature didn't have rights. So actually there's examples worldwide where rights have been granted to nature. This is not a new concept, and we have examples where it's been implemented. These are two examples: the Wanganui River in New Zealand. This is actually made by the Maori people in New Zealand. They have this spiritual connection with the river, and there was the New Zealand government who said, well, the river has different jurisdictions and different parts that belong to different people. And there came a law where the entire Wanganui River was given back to itself, becoming a legal personhood. In Ecuador, there has been granted rights of nature into the Constitution of Ecuador. So in the entire country, industrial activities, or they have to acknowledge and consider nature when they make decisions. Now, also closer by, we have an example, the Mar Menor, which is in Spain. This was a lagoon that was used by companies to discharge into the water, becoming a threat to the biodiversity. And the local community there, they rose up against this, and they collected signatures for the Spanish government. And then the Spanish government, they actually granted rights to the Mar Menor. Now, in my hometown, IJsselmeergraten, there's now an investigation in how, or a research into how rights of nature can be implemented. And this is because my party, I wrote a motion for the town council, and I said, well, maybe we should look at this. We have a lot of nature in our hometown, but also a lot of agriculture and a lot of tourism. And right now, the nature, it's becoming the underdog when decisions are being made. And the council, they actually said, okay, well, this is not actually a bad idea, so let's look into this now. And they're researching possibilities for this. So this is some literature on the topic, and I would say that not only people have rights, but also nature can have rights. Thank you.